Good day, context traders. Today is May 28th, 2025, and I'd like to go over with you today's market plan and executions. So we opened the day in a what we call position two state. So position two would be a minor gap. We are just moving up a little bit above the previous day's close at open. And typically, again, my bias is usually to look for continuation moves. I'm looking for continuation in the direction of the momentum. This is not a hard rule. This is not something that's going to happen every day, but it is my normal first bias. So if we look at this one swooping bar up and we pull back, where are we pulling back to? We're pulling back into a 38.2 fib level right in here. So we know if we hold upper third, upper half, there's a good opportunity for us to continue to the upside. So we're just looking for the price bars to trigger and signal our entries. All right. So first bar, 2-minute bar is pretty much nothing. All right. We up, down, we're holding. So we haven't really made a decision just yet, but we do see this 3rd-minute bar come back. Can't get lower. Holds, starts to push back into the range, and I enter this trade on this 3rd-minute bar, and I got in as price was moving past the low of the 1st-minute bar. We're in right here at 522 and a couple of pennies as it's going past 522. We have a nice initial surge. I am a little concerned that we might come up, sweep that high right here and fail. So once we push above the high and we pull back, I'm not going to let it go more than halfway. So I'm in at a good price. I'm in at a good price down here. I'm locked in, break even. I'm letting this come up, pull back. I want to stay upper third to half of this move so far. And it did hold, and we start pushing up, pushing up, pushing up. We finally get that nice surge. You get that rocket bar look back down right here. As this bar is coming back down, you have to exit right in here. It's too quick of a move. So I had to get out right here. Um, now I'm saying my trade plan is I have to get out right there. Uh, you could look to see if we're going to get a retest of this 10, but this came so quick and it's so early in the day. It's very high probability that this is going to crash back into this range, and that's just too much profit to give up. That's coming back into at least the 522.50 area off of 523.68. That's over $1 giving back. So better to just take that profit and run. Now, I did not notice this at the time, but it was pointed out to me that that also was hitting the top of the daily chart range and we swept the high. So knowing that, that's another confluence that would tell us that there's a good chance for a more aggressive pullback. So because of that, I was not initially looking for continuation calls after realizing that. So I went ahead and just waited through here for a little while. We closed this gap. All right, price wants to be efficient. We've closed this gap. So now it's potential to look for plays either direction. So we want to start looking at the chart. We're seeing we're coming into this narrow state. Narrow states usually are going to pop something out the other side. And we either come down or up. We're going to squeeze through this. We do have a declining 21. We do have a tent here. We're channeling down pretty nicely here, but it's a slow grind. But what I noticed is the price bars were not really accelerating to the downside. Typically puts move faster than calls. We don't get a lot of these slow grinds. You get slow grinds to the upside where it's just up and then a higher low and then a higher high and higher low. And But this grind down had me very suspicious that maybe we were going to have some sort of a pop, some sort of a snap back in regression back to fair market value somewhere in this general range. So when this popped through and didn't get lower, I started looking for potential call plays. And personally, I ended up taking a couple of break even trades in here. And so I ended up taking this trade right here. I was looking at this area, thought we had a retest with a drop a little bit lower, snap back into the range, reclaim the range, took it back into the 200. And so this moved from the 520.60 area up into the 521.12, and it went a little higher, started to pull back. I did take profit here. Then I ended up letting this come back and take me out at my entry point. So minor gains here, break even on the remainder of the trade. I thought my thesis was still pretty good that we should have an aggressive snapback. And so I was still watching this. And again, we dropped a little lower. We snap right back into the range and we hold. And so I tried another call in here. So we come up, rest, we go. This time we break the 200 in the same area. Couldn't get higher than here. Started to fail, and I closed as it crashed through back through the 200. So again, just another very minor win. It was only 30 cents, 25 cents of price action. Very small win, close to break even. Nothing to get too excited about. Then we finally saw this break out of that initial range and pull back. And I started looking at, looked like we were making, we went here, we came up here, we came back lower, we went higher. So I'm thinking that we're going to have this nice ebb and flow, and we're going to finally get through it. So I did take another call. This was my entry. So right here, I'm looking at this 2-minute candle coming off of our 200. Remember our hour moving average, flat 200. That is usually the strongest of our moving averages. Moving averages are magic. They're just averages of price, but the 200 seems to really hold well. We get this rocket candle off of that 200. And as this bar is dropping, pushing back up in, I entered right here. So this would have been right at the open. So we're looking at right at 10:45 and 10:46 right in here. So we drop through. I'm sorry, this is Pacific Standard Time. And so this then snaps back up and we hold through here. Got a really nice entry right here at bar open. And price never comes back to that area. And we get a nice move. We get a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We usually are holding, looking for a 1, 2, 3. This took a little bit longer. Get to 7, starts to pull back, and I exited this trade as we broke back below this area right here. I was waiting to see if it was going to hold structure right here. It bounced once, crashed through it, and I exited. So we're right in here in the 521.15 area, and we get out right here at the breach of 521.84. It did move a full dollar. I didn't capitalize on the full dollar move, but that was a nice trade right there. Um, that if I had maximized it all the way, that's the full dollar move, which we're often looking for on the QQQ. So when we're on the Qs, If I haven't mentioned this in previous videos, we're usually looking for something in that 75 cents to $1 range. A dollar move is what we're often looking for. If you get a dollar with and you don't have good acceleration, oftentimes that is going to be the average move that you want to punch out at. I held a little bit longer, gave up some of that profit, but that was okay. It's still a nice profitable trade. Then the fun trade of the day was this one here. We see this price just grinding up and it crashes through pucks and then accelerates down. I did not take this put. A couple members of our community did take this put, which was great. This was a nice quick mover, just smashed right through, nice profit. I did not miss that. Instead, I was stalking it, looking for the call entry. And what I was looking at is I looked over here to my left, that previous day low, end of day that accelerated off, and I saw this slam right through it in one bar. And remember, at one point, this bar was solid bar, and it was aggressive. So we came off this aggressive move. That is unsustainable without some sort of a news catalyst or something to continue this just ripping to the downside. That type of price movement is typically going to have a snap back. So if you're in this put and this starts to hesitate at all, you likely should be taking profit if not exiting your full trade. So I saw that as an opportunity to get in. And so as this drops down, starts pushing back up right into this previous day range, I go ahead and I click in the calls right here. And as this bar is rising, I'm sliding my stop up to break even. And I'm just sitting in a free trade. I'm hoping to see this push clear back into this narrow state that we can make a decision. It did not do it in one swoop, but look at this. Amazing. That's a lot of buying pushing that bar back up. So these wicks. So this next bar did drop down, came a little bit lower, but still held out right here. We bounce off of that. Once we clear this range, I'm feeling pretty good that we're going to go after this previous point of control area here or potentially here. So we get above here, we retest underneath this narrow state. I move my stop up to right this area. And as this bar pulls back, goes through, I took off part of my position right here as we were moving into this area where the drop zone occurred. So I took off partial here. We pushed clear through this range, pulled back, pushed up again. As it starts to fail this 1 minute, mini 1 minute structure right here where I had my area of interest, we get down into that zone and I killed the rest of that trade. So I was in right about 519.85. I took off partials at 521.75, and I took the remainder off right here in the 522.15 area. Right, so it was a really nice trade to finish out my trading day. And I finished out right there. Wasn't really sure what to expect with the rest of the day. It could definitely come back down, retest this area. It could have chopped and just stayed middling. Could have tried to come back up here. Really wasn't sure what to expect the rest of the day, and I was pretty happy with my trades. So I called it right there. All right, so that is my day in the life of a trader. We had a couple of really nice strong wins, and we had a couple of nothing burger, basically break even trades, but no harm today. Didn't put ourselves into any difficult situations. Tried to avoid trading the chop as much as possible, not getting stuck in the middle, and only taking the bottoms of the ranges looking for safe plays back to the tops of the ranges. So overall, pretty happy with the trading plan for the day. And as always, folks, I just am here to educate you on the way I look at the markets each day, sharing the lessons I've learned from my mentors, trying to help you think about how you want to tackle the markets each and every day. And I'm not here to tell you how to trade, only to share how I trade. I hope this has been helpful for you. If you learned something today, drop a comment in. Tell me what you learned. Tell me what you would like to hear more about, so I can put into future videos. And as always, may the best be with you in your trading tomorrow.